good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's the WiX Online Meeting 302 at the end of 2025, 17th of December, all that kind of good stuff. I'm joined once again by Bob Artson. This is Rob Menching, and this meeting is recorded for those of you that aren't with us right here, right now, on this, well, what is winter day for us. We're doing triage and review, so we're gonna be talking about the issues and things like that, plus anything else that people bring up in the meeting, in the comments, in the chat as we go along. If other people have things they want to talk about. Great to have Ron, Bert, and Ron. Is that I don't remember M. Anyway, all of you guys are welcome. It's fantastic if you join us. Go ahead and say hi. I love having everybody say that they're here because it makes us feel like well, there's just more of us around. I don't have anything else to say about this right now. Let's go talk about what's going on in WiX 7. Martin from the dojo. That's great. That's why I wanted to guess it was Martin, but I wasn't sure. And he takes the crown from Ron by simply responding twice. Here we go. Bob, you ready? Triage? Oh, I lost Bob.
No, just muted. Just muted.
You've got your mute backwards today. Here we go. We have 4 issues to review for triage, and then we will go into the review of WiX 7. So we're basically do a whole bunch of GitHub issues. So new issues to be triaged first. 8178, which is not new. That is old. It's assigned to me. Did I mark this as triage?
You did.
I did. Yes. Okay. Ha ha ha. We're going to talk about this issue a few times. We are hitting issues. We have had this now reported by people outside. We now have a customer, a Fire Giant customer that hit this as well, where there's something not quite right about our elevation detection that is causing us to think we're elevated and thus use elevated locations, but the user's not actually elevated, and therefore it's not. Therefore, the installs don't go forward. This, I believe, is related to another issue that I have, so I wanted to bring this over and duplicate the two of them together. So that I want to bring this into WiX 7. Basically, I wanted to say, hey, this is the same issue as the other issue that I'm looking at. And we have another one that we hit in a different way. So we are going to fix this in WiX 7. I don't know why it took me so many words to basically say this is the same as issue. We're heading WiX 7. I want to bring this one in. Cool. I expect it will be the same fix for the same issue in burn. That makes sense.
Well, sorry, both 8178 and 9118, which I think is the other one you're talking about.
I think so. I need to link it to this.
They're both burn.
Yeah, they're both burned. They're the exact same
Okay.
issue. So
Okay.
I wanted to put this in WiX 7, bring it in, and one of them will probably get duped to the other if they're different. I don't know if people cares about their issues being duped or not. Growing up at Microsoft, having testers, they were very sensitive about you duplicating their issues because it affected their account.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, mine was first. Or no, mine had better information in it. No. And so I got in the habit of just not duping issues and just fixing them all and declaring victory.
One fix fixes multiple bugs.
One fix, yeah, because they're the same bug. But I didn't have to fight with the testers about which one I closed then.
Right. This one is interesting because one covers WiX 3, the other covers WiX 4. So
yeah, this is old enough that we never really. Well, I guess it's only since May. Anyway, we're not fixing WiX 3 clearly. This is all going to WiX 7.
Yeah.
And it came about because of our tightening down during this CVE. So this says CVE in it, and it's like, yeah, it's not actually CVE, but it is from that CVE, and we need to make a slightly better fix than the one that was there for these really strange cases. Anyway, you can read about it in there. We're still hunting down the root issue, which is why I'm not like, oh, we definitely know what this thing is. It's strange. It happens in really strange situations, and we're going back and forth. We have a Fire Giant customer, so we're able to go back and forth and try to really narrow down that we know what is going wrong. which is really helpful in these sorts of really kooky kind of scenarios. So anyway, that's a very long explanation for something that's, I think, a dupe for another one. Okay. Now we get to new ones. 9200. Declare platform support for Wix v7. Bob? Oh.
Yeah, this is just something I don't think we've done in probably since Wix 4, which is just to say,
Mm.
hey, we're going to assume now that everything built from Wix, starting in Wix 7, is, you know, we're going to drop support for Windows 98, for example. I believe, and I'd have to go back and look, and I didn't because it was boring. I believe we said that Windows 7 was our baseline for Wix 4, but it
Yes.
might have been Vista. Um,
Mm. Okay. I don't think
I,
so.
I don't. Yeah. I'm not sure. Vista opened up a bunch of APIs that were potentially helpful.
True.
In terms of you know in terms of, hey, we might actually want to use this new API function.
True.
Um, Windows 7 didn't do as much of that, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, well, what does it mean to say that we support Windows 7? It means we're trying to avoid anything later than Windows 7, but you know, there's only so much we can do, and it's not like we have a battalion of the aforementioned testers running a bunch of stuff on Windows 7, for example. We've had that problem before in like Wix 3, where stuff accidentally was no longer compatible with Windows XP. So
Yeah.
in general, from the volunteer developer perspective, I'd rather we just, hey, look, Windows 10 is barely in service anymore. Mostly it's not in service anymore. Let's just say Windows 10 is our baseline and go from there.
Yeah. As is our typical behavior of, hey, let's finally declare our minimum, the OS that's going out of service now.
Right, right. I mean, technically, the latest version of Windows 10 is still in service for extended service,
Right, right, right,
but
right.
you know, it's just like Windows 7 is long dead.
Yeah, Windows
You know,
7 is long dead and nobody cares about 8, right? So,
yeah,
uh,
I mean, basically.
right. So,
And it's also Windows. I believe all of Windows 8, 8.1 is still out of service as well. The server OSs are my only. We have to maybe dig in a little bit because I think there might be a version of server that is still supported that would bring us below 10. Like if Windows Server 2016 is still supported, I believe that's equivalent to Windows 8.1 client. So
that's probably the line for us to find then, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
I think we should ditch 7
I'm
and
fine with
and
that. Yeah,
and 8, but we may need to keep the server at 8. I don't really know, like I'm fuzzy on what's in 8 and 10 at this point. Like what's
right. Well, and again,
given the
it
level
comes
that
down
we
to,
operate at, like
yeah,
how
yeah.
much
It's
does it really matter?
what did they add that we might go, ooh, that sounds fun or
Yeah.
useful, perhaps
Well,
would be
for
better.
me it's usually, oh, we have to make this work the old way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And you know, the elevation stuff we are talking about today
Yes, right,
is an example of something like that.
right. Um so yeah, I think we should definitely drop 7. And we should drop 8. Nobody will care. So client definitely 10.
Okay,
Server,
I'm fine with that.
server we have to be a little more careful about.
I'll take this issue um, and figure out what the comfort level of server is, because I think that's our
Yeah, I
only
think
real
that's probably
issue.
the only question. It doesn't really change anything in the code, though. I don't think.
Uh, Probably not, because I don't think
I think the
because
real
we've
kick
avoided
is
7, or
yes,
with 7 as our baseline, we avoided anything beyond that.
right.
It's now, like you said, it comes down to, okay, well, if there are 3 ways of doing this, let's pick the one that's
Yeah,
better supported. Because again, that's the elevation stuff is an example of something that came about because of newer functionality. So
right,
the stuff they introduce, like managed service accounts, whenever they
yes,
introduce that. Um, so sometimes it's just like, yeah, it's so much easier if we could just use make this stuff work API function.
right. I also know that they've done fixes that we don't want to have to work around in 7 that are
Right.
fixed in 10. So I think that line helps too. It's like,
Yep.
yeah. This doesn't work quite right on Windows 7, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, yeah, we don't care about Windows 7. But Wix will probably continue to work on Windows 7 because we're not going to do anything to actively prevent it from working.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
it's just one of those things of uh, security vulnerability found only on Windows 7. Yeah, we don't care. It probably comes down to we're just not going to work around security vulnerabilities on Windows 7. Because some of like a couple
That's
of our
yeah.
security vulnerabilities have been Windows behaves badly. We're going to try to solve it in Wix to not be an attack vector better than what they do, given our role in the ecosystem, but not for Windows 7. Like I think that's probably the strongest statement working here is we just don't care about Windows 7 anymore
Yeah.
because Windows doesn't either by a lot.
They
So
actively disdain it.
right, so we're not going to try to keep that working. I think that's probably the biggest statement.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we're going to move it up to those operating systems that are almost out of service, but not
Right.
quite. um 9201. Um they're searching for bind name and bind path information, and I think that's fair that we need more documentation on this area. I think that would
Sure.
be a fair statement here, especially around the bind path, automatic bind path of project references and stuff like that. Um, so go ahead and give this to me. I have been looking at bringing translating some of the Wix 3 content into Wix 4 content. So just need to mostly find a home for it in the new documentation and make all that work. So, yep, cool. I will do that. That's not a bug, but whatever. Um, I want more documentation, please. All right. So 9205, medium plus integrity incorrectly detected as elevated. This is the issue that I was talking about, where the ones that I was talking about were burn, and this one we found is actually in DTF, but it's the same problem, um, just on the DTF side because it learned burn and it learned the same tricks during that CVE time frame, and they are both affected in the same way by this. Um, elevation challenge that we're trying to sort out.
And I think this is the most,
Yeah.
well, my assumption, my hope is that this is the same issue across all 3, identical issue
Yes.
across all 3,
Yep.
and that we um, because again, as you mentioned, we're working with a FireGiant customer. We were able to get in pretty deep and work with them on yeah figuring out what's weird.
Yeah.
And what we got to is that um, certain accounts, user accounts or service accounts, run with medium plus integrity, which is this weird step between medium, which is your typical unelevated user, and high integrity, which is elevated.
Very strange stuff.
And
Anyway,
yeah,
we will be sorting this out and fixing it um, here in WiX 7. So that's that new issue. Cool. All right. So let's go look at the issues that we are still planning or that we are taking in WiX 7 just to get a feel for how WiX 7 is going because there's basically a month and a half left before RC1. And the ideal is that everything we're taking is in RC1. And sometimes we will let that be a little slippery if it's really something we need or want, and we'll take it in RC2. But that's definitely not the goal. So that's what we're going to review here, see how we're going, and see which of these probably aren't making WIC 7. And that sort of thing. And it turns out almost all of these are signed to Bob and I. So Bob and I are going to continue to babble at people. You're welcome to ask questions and stuff like that. Um, and then we will go from there.
If
I
you
have
see something
these.
that you really want, let us know.
Yeah. I guess that's true. If you're here and hanging out, or if you're in the comments later, you could say, "Hey, that issue that you're thinking about not doing would be really good for these reasons. Maybe them work a little bit better to try to keep that one." Um, I have these in the wrong order. Let me flip them for a moment. Oldest first, because it's just easier to go oldest sometimes. All right. Because the oldest ones are the trickiest ones. All right. So I assume we're just gonna punt this thing, right? This override equals no. Like this is not happening. This is Jacob has had this thing forever. Like it's just gonna go away, right?
Hold on. I'm in the same boat. I'm sorting in the wrong order. Um,
Like
yeah, I'm fine with that.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's one of those things. This was the it never worked in the first place.
yeah, otherwise it goes to the grave. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think this is coming back. All right. So we don't have to do it now. We'll get rid of it instead of Jacob shows up next month and be like, hey, by the way, I finally finished that thing. I was racing WIC 7. I didn't make the December meeting, but I made it for January. Okay, great. I bring that up because February, just everybody remembers February 4th or 5th. I forget. 4th?
Fifth.
5th? February 5th is the RC1 date. So WIC 7, right around the corner. This is this long running task 6423 that I have to continually move errors and warnings out of the data space and into the backend type thing. So this is a good straightforward uh, work item that I will continue to carry on until one day I probably finish it all. It's a slow burn sort of thing. So anyway, 6620, a bug in Ukrainian localization. I'm guessing we have the changes. Yeah, so it's a matter of applying them. Bob, still in 7. You're muted.
No, I'm just not sure. Um, I'm not sure why I haven't done anything with it already,
Okay.
other than the basic. So the basic problem I have with all the localization stuff is that if it's not Klingon, I don't speak it, or
English.
English, I guess.
Okay. Hey,
Um,
come on. Your English is better than mine. Let's go.
well, I wasn't going to say it, but so I mean, it's never gotten higher priority because of that. I don't know what to do with that. I can spot check some of the stuff through Google Translate or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's the extent of what I can do. So uh,
I vote do that and
okay,
go. All right. 7311 is this change to multi SD insert string to double null terminate. When the first value is not double null terminated, I still stare at this one going, is this the right change? And the change still feels really big for what it is, but um, I have not sat down and said, validated the change. So I'm going to do that. You'll notice that we have 30 closed issues, by the way. We have been making progress on them and closing them. I did a pass on MS build work inside Wix. So I chose a block area to do that. And I fixed like 4 or 5 issues related to MS build, Wix targets type things, which is not native code. You'll notice very much not native code. And I will be doing a native code focus, which is where this multi-SC goes. So that's when I will review this change. Um, so 7401 is the one MS build work item I did not get to. This pull request is definitely not what we want. It essentially copies large blocks of the .NET SDK into Wix targets. I understand why they did that, but we don't want all of that. And once I kind of understood what it's doing, I think we have a simpler way. And then my weekend ran out. So I did not get this done. I still want to try to get it done, but it is behind the other things. I need to do a native pass before I do that. So it is entirely possible that this this particular thing will not make Wix 7 as I run out of time. But I want to try because I like the idea of it, even if it doesn't seem like a lot of people are using it. I like the idea of it. 7585 ref suffix for more attributes. Basically, we agree that it would be better if more of our attributes that are refs said that they are refs. That's a good thing. I want to go through and do a pass on that. Again, this is less priority from the other one, and like my other issues, and like the cleanup, this is a ongoing type of thing. So I'll get that. Um so I will not get all of them. I'll make some progress on it probably in Wix 7. 7821 is publishing the signing fingerprint. This is a few logistics things and security stuff to certificate stuff to verify, and then put it on the website. And we'll do that. This will not happen in RC1 when the RTM version shows up. I will do this on the RTM because it's on the website, so it does not have to be done earlier. 7861, I really want to find some time to do this, but the burn issues are more important. Um, so I will probably take a swing at 7861 before I go back and try the unified artifacts thing, for example, but we will see. I want to I'm hoping that this is not complicated and I can do something here because it bugs me that issue exists. 7981. Oh, figure out overwritable.
This is now a documentation issue.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Um,
So
and it's
technically, it
still a
doesn't have to happen to
documentation.
RC1. Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, I guess I'll.
No. Yeah, I guess good to stay in here, but it doesn't have to be done by RC1 being a doc thing. But we probably should update the tag to make it a little clearer.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And we should update that tag on the website to doc now because that better describes what it is. Anyway. All right, that's 7981. It's a doc thing. 8063. Installation with scope per user fails when package .NET 4.6.2 redist is used.
Yeah, this is a bug. It's a caching bug in Burn.
Uh,
Um,
the cache bug ever.
but it's fairly narrow in scope. You have a per user package
Mm-hmm.
that also requests, a redistributable. But if you don't need the redistributable, it's still per user and doesn't need to elevate. But Burn is caching the redist, and that requires elevation.
Right.
So I consider it a bug because it doesn't need to cache it.
Right.
But that's as far as I've gotten. So, I mean, I'm okay keeping this issue. I am, given the other stuff that I'm working on in Burn, I do not consider it likely that I will resolve this issue in
Okay.
Wix 7.
That's kind of what we're getting a feel for, is that people have an idea of here's what we're hoping, and this is kind of where we're at of what's going to get fixed and what's not going to get fixed. This is
Yeah.
on the edge of not falling out or of
Well,
falling
and
out.
this is an issue that if it is not fixed by RC1, it should not be fixed in Wix 7
Agreed.
because of
Agreed.
it's going to be a fairly deep.
I would say that's true of every issue unless we explicitly call it out. It's going to have to be pretty special.
Okay, yeah,
It's going to have to be
yeah.
very special.
I'm fine with that.
Slip RC1 to skip RC1.
Yep.
All right. 8104 icon no longer displayed. This is the burn issue that I want to fix. Plus a series of pull requests in burn. It's essentially I need to go back in, get into the mindset of burn, and do all these all at once. But this is like the issue that I am targeting. So there we go. All right, excuse me. Let's see. 8654 .NET Core. This is a documentation issue now. This is actually solved. This works great in WiX 6, and we just need to document all of the pieces to it. So we
Oh,
can
it's
flip
just
that
a
to a doc
secondary
issue. Yeah,
bootstrapper.
yeah. It's
Okay.
just documenting it. So this could switch to just documentation. 8685, Bob.
Another example of an ongoing issue. Um, the parallelization I did in up to now has been mostly to uh, take more advantage of MS Build parallelization, which mostly was about getting the tests to run in parallel.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of hit a point of diminishing returns.
I
There's still additional parallelization that we can pull in, but at this point, it means we need to do some major cleanup on tests.
mm-hmm.
Like right now, we still have a mix of XUnit and MS Test.
Yep.
The MS Test stuff works very well.
Yep.
In parallel, XUnit would as well in version 3.
Mm.
And that would require us to port some of our fairly gnarly XUnit extensions to XUnit 3 or port them to MS Test.
Yeah. So I think there is definitely something to be said in WiX 8 or something to go to
This is the
do
kind of thing
that.
that starts in, April.
Yeah, exactly.
We
All right.
we ship WiX
Cool.
7, then we have a big cleanup. So
Cool.
I would like to move this out of
I think that's right.
a milestone.
Probably put it in V Future, so we bring it back into WiX 8 to remind us to do the test parallelization type stuff.
Well, I'm not going to put it in V3, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to lose. We're not talking about losing it. We just want to
Yeah,
pop it
no, no,
out.
and it's
It's
still
like,
assigned to
or
me,
or
and
or rather, it's one of the. It is the feature. It's like, all right, cool. I got as far as I'm going to get to. We're going to pop this out, and we'll continue work on it in the future. My other two future issues like that will do the exact same thing next time in January
yeah,
or February, depending on timing. All right, 8847 parallel. Oh, create parallel cache creates log errors in log file. Yep,
yeah.
there's a race
So,
condition in there somewhere.
well, there's a lack of a race condition. Well, no, there's a lack of a wait. Basically, if you cache in parallel, uh, Burn can want to start executing or apply, no, executing, yeah, uh, before caching is complete. And there's currently no, there's no IPC to say, don't do that, or wait until caching is complete before you try to start
All
executing.
right. So are you still thinking 7?
Uh, so this is another example of this is an interesting. I find this to be an interesting issue. It's not terribly important, but again, it's in the deep in the weeds. So if I don't get it done by RC1, it cannot be in 7. I
Right.
consider it very unlikely that I will get
Cool.
to it by RC1.
Sounds fine.
So
It's like
we can keep
that's
it there for now,
yep.
or we can just
No,
kick
we'll
it.
keep it there now, and then the status will be, either January when definitely out of time, or February if we ran out of time. That's kind
Yeah.
of the way these are going to go.
Yep.
It's like, well, I might get it in the next couple weeks or not. All right. 8865. Oh, this whole thing. Yeah, we're gonna leave this open because Joel said, hey, we're kind of interested in doing some work on that. And maybe they're working on it. I don't want to kick it out. But if it's not ready by January meeting, it's definitely getting kicked out because it's big. So they kind of need to get this done soon if they're doing that. Sorry. Um, this is a document 8932 is 100% a doc issue, and it's on my radar along with a few other doc issues that I've kind of been poking around at. Just general doc improvement in the XSD. I'm very frustrated with the XSD when I had to go through the process of cleaning up for the PCP type work. It was not a fun process. So anyway, I continue. This is kind of a iceberg issue for make this area work better sort of thing. Anyway, I don't have answers, but it's documentation, which means it doesn't have to be an RC1, but I want to get in for 7. Um, 8935. This is a cleanup of our process. We have an XC in the build, which there should not be any of those. So I need to just build it from source. It's on my list. I probably will get to it. I think I'll get to it. It's also something we could take in RC2, for example, if we wanted to, because it's just inside the Wix build and has no
Yeah.
impact outside of that. So I'm not prioritizing higher than like the burn work, for example. Same with this integration test is currently commented out or disabled uh, on the build servers. So I would like to poke at this, but again, this is improving our test processes here. So Wix 7. 8958. Install time bundle scope.
Yep. Yep. Um, so this was my big ticket item in Wix 7. I was mildly waylaid by being in the hospital for a week and a half and a relatively slow recovery from that. So I am now in the oh God, is it going to happen? Um, I'm actually still fairly confident in it, mostly because the way I proposed it and got approved is that the idea of install time scope is just to remove a couple of things that currently happen at build time, and everything else happens during planning. The big advantage of planning is that it's really, really testable, and we in fact have test BAs that do this exact kind of thing. Actually, you can even do it without a full BA structure. We also have burn tests that do that. And it should not, quote unquote, escape from planning. Burn already has support for doing, per user packages, per machine packages, figuring out the scope of the bundle based on all of that. And that's, that's still where we end up. The bundle scope is always still per user or per machine. There's no, sorry, you decide. You as the user or you as the bundle developer decide which way it's going to go. So again, planning, easy to test. I definitely don't want to defer this, so I'm willing to defer other things before this.
Yep, I think that's fair. I'm gonna have one of those here shortly. So that's the hopefully big ticket when it happens.
Yep.
8962 is an issue tracking with a pull request, and I just have to decide if I agree with the pull request and the issue, or if I don't and we don't do this. That's kind of what it comes down to. 9104 patch bundle with MSP doesn't uninstall when patch parent bundles uninstalled. Ugh.
Yeah, this is ugly.
Yeah.
It would be good to fix,
Yeah.
and fixing it first means creating the right tests and whatnot.
Yeah.
So again, this is something I would like to fix, but I will not sacrifice bundle scope to fix it. And again, it's in the it's probably in planning, which is why I took it in the first place, because maybe I would run across it while I was doing the bundle scope work. But just because it's in planning doesn't mean that it's trivial.
No.
Just means it's testable.
Especially patching. So
And yeah, patching and patch bundle related.
yes,
Yeah,
related bundles and all that stuff. Yep.
It,
Yep. Yep.
it's messy. It's messy. So
All right. 9118 is the other issue I was talking about that I knew I had that is all around that elevation behavior. I think these are all dupes. Even though this issue is completely wrong about all of its analysis, it does have the repro steps that are correct. So, and the pull request is very wrong. So we have, but like I said, we have a fire giant customer, so we're running this down. There are if you go, there are two bugs on burn and one on DTF, all related to this probably one thing, we think. So that's that.
Hopefully.
And I talked about it ad nauseum already. All right. And then my last must get issue, I have two. One is the burn with the icon fix. I'm definitely getting that. And this one, I'm not shipping without, and it will be done by RC1, is 9196, which is the new accept EULA functionality that we need to get in, so that since the ecosystem around us doesn't verify EULAs, so we need to make sure that we verify the EULA ourselves. All of that good stuff. So that is that issue. That'll definitely be happening before RC1. And if that for some reason gets complicated, it's the reason some of those other items fall off of my list that aren't the burn related type things, which I'm going to get next. So that's WiX 7. That's what's remaining in WiX 7. I don't even know it's enclosed anymore. I'll just click on it real quick, maybe. No? Yes? Oh, take a second. What do we have? Groups, cleanup, error messages, fixes. Yeah, a whole bunch of MS build, cleanup type things. Oh, we now target .NET 8 right now.
Do you want to talk about 9189?
9, 9. Say that again.
89.
9189. Is it here? No. 9189?
9189, yes.
All right, I have to go. I don't know. I'll type the number in because I don't even know which one you're talking about. 9189.
Sorry, it showed up on my list.
That's discussions. How to get the discussions?
9189. No, that's
No. That's sending me to the discussion about it. 9189.
9189.
Oh, there we go. I must have typed it wrong.
Okay. Like,
2026
what's
custom action ref support. Oh, this. Yeah. So this isn't happening. Oh, wait. I guess.
well?
So we probably
He's
okay.
not doing it,
Right.
but he closed the issue before. Well, no, we triaged it and put it in 7.
I see. So we should open it and put it back up for grabs and not put it in WiX 7.
That works.
Right. 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 Closing the issue without solving it. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Cool. All right. So that's the kind of stuff that's going on. I was thinking we could go through, but I can see that I need to get a little more organized about all those 30 because they're kind of all over the place. So we will talk about that. If not next meeting, which probably not next meeting, we'll probably still be talking about the things that are going into 7. Maybe in February, we'll talk about we'll do a review of, hey, here are the things that are in 7, just as kind of a fun way to wrap up. Plus, then we'll know all the things that made it into WiX 7. So that is the triage and stuff like that. Going back, is there anything else other people want to talk about? Questions and stuff like that. Clearly, we're getting down to the end. The bug fixes here, there. It's getting clear what things are going to be included in WiX 7. It's kind of. I'm actually really excited about the MS Build fixes because as you may know, I've been doing the Deployment Dojo. Season 2 has been all about MS Build. And those MS Build issues were amazingly easier because I'd done so much work in MS Build recently. I was just like in the mindset and I was in the zone and I'm like, oh, right, that's the problem. And could just fix it. It was very nice. It was a very productive weekend, even though I was sick. And just like I could only do one thing. So I just take a bug and I would just work on one bug. And that was it. It was actually a little bit zen. It was kind of nice. Just having time to do that because I couldn't go hang out with anybody else or do anything for risk of getting them sick. All right, I've been babbling. January 21st will be our next meeting, and then that's only like what is it, a week? January 21st is 2 weeks. 1, 2, yeah, that's 2 weeks off of, WiX 7 RC1. So, well,
Though it's in 2026, not 2027.
yes, 2026. Thank you. I will fix that for the next meeting. Maybe, hopefully, possibly. It's like that whole writing checks in the wrong things, but who
Yeah.
writes checks anymore?
Well,
Um, so yeah, we're kind of at the end of week 7. It's going to be very good. Lots of cleanup and solidifying, and then we'll look at what Wix 8 will bring us in the meetings after that. We'll review February. Basically, we'll review Wix. Uh, what's in Wix 7. In March, we will review how things seem to be going. And then in April, we will have celebrated that we shipped Wix 7. Did everything go right? And looking at, hey, what do we want Wix 8 to kind of be about? Lots of opportunities out there, no shortage of cool stuff. And I've got some big features that I want to start thinking about trying to bring about. And I don't know Wix 8 will be when they make it, but it might be, which will be kind of cool. So lots to do, lots to look forward to. Thank you all for joining us. If you have any questions, here's your kind of last second to have hit the enter key and say it's in. Oh, Kimmy, you guys will say I'm glad you're getting more supporters. Yeah, the open source maintenance fee is working very well. I will do another write up about it. Um, as a few more pieces have come together. Also, the accept EULA work that we're doing here, I think, is another piece to the overall puzzle. But overall, it's been coming together very well, and I am encouraged by the progress we've made. Enough progress that I'm getting close enough that I believe other projects could um, follow our patterns here and go from there. I'm interested to see how the accept EULA behavior turns out for us. I hope that kind of cleans up one of the big criticisms of the system that I think we can solve here. So, because the other ones, the other big criticisms are slowly getting resolved, and I will write up about that. And it's been a great learning experience, and it honestly has gone, I want better, absolutely better than I feared. It's kind of about as well as it could have, knowing that it's a large new idea that would have issues that would need to get fixed. I feel like it's definitely coming along. So, thank you. It is going well, and I am interested to see how Wix 7 brings more of that into the future. Especially something else that I haven't mentioned, but when Wix 7 goes RC1, Wix 5 goes out of community support, right? Because the way that works is Wix 7 RC1 ends up in space, so you can start using that. And you have Wix 6 that you could be on. And Bob and I don't want to be in the position of having to do supporting 3 versions of Wix at the exact same time. That path leads to madness because we did that once and it was a terrible, horrible, very bad, no good experience in 2023, Bob? Or was it 2024? Anyway, it
you
was a
don't make me go there. I think it was 2024.
2020, it was just anyway, it was not good. It was bad. We're not doing that again. So uh we I probably should I need to take a note. I need to probably say widely that Wix 5 goes out of service in a month and a half. So yeah, you should be moving to Wix 6 here if you haven't been looking at that. So um that's the thing. We'll be back in a month-ish. We will have more issues resolved. We will essentially probably do this exact same meeting in January, and hopefully the lists are short, and we will move on to the next thing. So until then, Bob, you have anything?
I'm good.
All right. So we will see all of you in the new year. Have a wonderful holidays. Enjoy time with your family. Squeeze them, love them, all that kind of good stuff. And we will fix some bugs. Later, guys. Bye.
Bye.